So here is everything you need to know about the rumors around the Fnaf movie sequel or prequel. Why in the game series could the second game actually be a prequel to the first game? So why couldn't the second movie be a prequel to the original movie? We have a lot of points written down here that we're going to discuss on how the FNAF movie 2 could actually be a prequel. So my theory is pretty much all just because of how Jeremy Fitzgerald is being rumored to play the main character in this next movie. And that's a huge thing because Jeremy Fitzgerald is rumored to be the dude who gets the bite of 87. So obviously that's a huge task when it comes to being the main character or either being a main protagonist. So in this second movie, what if it takes the sort of Fear Street 2 sort of approach? Now if you didn't know, Fear Street 2 is basically a movie that's told in the perspective of being told a story. For example, in the main characters go and meet up a character who's experienced something similar to them in the past, and basically their past experience is the movie. That's basically what I'm predicting could possibly happen with this next FNAF movie. And so basically in this sort of case, it's being told through the eyes of Jeremy and what actually happened to him during his time at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, leading to him being the main character, and also would make sense how all the other original characters come to reprise their roles. However, those roles would be quite minimal if it's being told through the eyes of a story. That is the only factor that I wouldn't be happy with. I definitely feel like in this second film we're going to get more aspects towards Garrett. I feel like Garrett is going to be a huge factor in this second film. I do feel like we're actually going to see him originally get taken. I know we actually see him get taken around 20 times in the first movie, but I definitely feel like we're going to get an aspect of what happened to Garrett when he got taken by Afton. I definitely feel like we're going to get no Springtrap in this film though. I feel like there's going to be a main aspect on the animatronics being the villains, like 100% being the villains, no fort scenes or nothing. I definitely feel like there's definitely going to be more aspect on the actual animatronics being the main villains. And as we know, the toy animatronics are in the works. I did a video on that previously. So the toy animatronics are going to be made. So it looks like we are going to get a FNAF 2 approach to this movie. So why couldn't it be a prequel? We don't know, because in the timeline of the games, obviously the toy animatronics became first over the original animatronics. But as we know, the movie is taking some different approaches regarding the original movie, having a lot of changes. For example, Vanessa being Afton's daughter rather than Mike being Afton's son. So, you know, it's a little bit of a different approach. So there's a huge loads of speculation of what's actually going to go down with this film. Are we going to get the Wizards? You know, the toy animatronics seem to be confirmed. There's so many different speculations. Now, obviously, we have confirmation that Piper Rubio is coming back to reprise her role as Abby. William Afton, obviously, by the one and only Matthew Lillard, is coming back. And also, it seems that Josh Hutcherson is coming back to reprise his role as Mike. Now, there's no confirmation of Vanessa because I feel like she's going to be in a coma for this entire film until towards the end, I think. I feel like she'll have a very minimal role in this film. But there's a lot of things we genuinely just have to speculate about. There's a lot of theories going around. I have a load of theories on my channel around this movie. But there's genuinely, I think there's a huge possibility this movie could be a prequel. Now, I'm not saying I want this to be a prequel. I do not want this film to be a prequel. I'd love to see Jeremy Fitzgerald in this next film. However, I'd like the timeline to continue as the Mike story and Abby story. I'd like to continue where it just, you know, stays grounded, doesn't go too complicated with the story like how the games did, and I feel like we need a nice grounded story for this movie franchise. Now, my other theory being with Jeremy being the main character, I feel like we're going to get the bite of 87 in this film. Well, the bite of 80, whatever we're going to get. I did a video on this previously because Jeremy in this film, why couldn't he die? Like, if we're gonna do the toy animatronics, that surely means Mangle, right? And Mangle is the one who is rumored to do the bite of 87. It's not confirmed or nothing, but it is very heavily rumored that Mangle was the one who done it. Now, in my opinion, if we're gonna have Jeremy and we're gonna have Mangle in this film, it becomes too obvious that we're gonna get some sort of bite, and one of the main protagonists in this film will end up being taken out by the animatronics. So why couldn't it be Jeremy? If Jeremy is meant to be rumored as the main character or main protagonist, why couldn't he be the one who's taken out by Mangle? And that is a huge theory. Now, another thing we know is with Garrett. Now, I personally have a huge theory that Garrett is going to be the one who gives us the "come find me" message at the end of the first film, in that, you know, classic FNAF voice. I definitely feel like that is Garrett as the puppet. I think Garrett's going to be the puppet in this next film. I feel like it's very obvious. It'd be super cool to see on screen. I think it'd be awesome, and I really hope it happens. We also know that the film is being filmed in mid-2024. I'm pretty sure they're aiming for like a July to October 2025 release. I feel like that's fair. I kind of hope they stick with the October release. I don't know how I'd feel about a really early FNAF movie being released next year. I don't know how I'd feel about that. Obviously, I'm not opposed to it. You know, the earlier the better, I guess. But I prefer if they just took their time with this film. It's a huge project. So I feel like they're working on the animatronics right now, and then we're going to move on to filming around July type of area. I know we're only in February, but still, there's so much speculation what's actually going down with this film. I mean, are we going to get Mangled? The toy animatronics seem to be confirmed. The Wizards is a huge option. I really hope we do see them. But I think what's going to happen is Springtrap will be at the end of this film as well. I think that's a huge possibility. But there's so much things that we haven't known about this film. There's so many cast members that have to be announced with regards to Vanessa coming back. Is she going to come back? We just don't know just yet. I hope she does. But even if she does, I feel like she's going to be in a coma for a majority of this next film. Is she going to encounter Afton? I don't think Afton's going to have much of a role in this next film either. I feel like he'd be only really there through flashbacks, and I hope that is the case, because if we see Afton through flashbacks, that's a huge possibility we're going to get to look at Fredbear's Family Diner, which we have never seen in the FNAF franchise other than in FNAF 4 in pixel form. So it'd be kind of cool to actually see it, you know, front and center. Fredbear and Spring Bonnie just there on stage performing. It'd be awesome as a FNAF fan to see that, and I hope that does happen. But that is most you need to know regarding the FNAF movie sequel. Is it going to be a prequel? I don't know. I personally don't think so, but it'd be kind of cool to see if it is. But then again, in the back of my head, I kind of hope it isn't. But that's all you need to know about the rumors around the FNAF movie sequel or prequel. Hopefully you did enjoy. If you have any theories of your own, let me know in the comments below. I'd really appreciate to hear your thoughts on what could happen in this next film. Are we going to get Jeremy? Are we going to get the Bite of 87? Or the Bite of whatever, 2000 and whatever. I hope we get something to do with the Bite. It'd be awesome. But thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate anyone who has taken the time out of the day to hear me waffle about some FNAF movie sequel theories and predictions and rumors. Thank you so much for watching. If you do enjoy anything to do with FNAF or horror or analog horror, hit that subscribe button. I really do appreciate anyone who's checked out my videos. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I appreciate every single last one of you. And as always, have an amazing day. Stay safe and peace. First shot of this episode. Tammy picks this house.
Oh, what about that one?
Now, if you ask me, that is the, worst house you can pick. It has wallpaper on the outside.